Or joining us on the live broadcast or rebroadcast, please know that we always are so grateful that you have chosen to spend a little bit of time with us. Today we are going to be talking about, or I'm going to give you 2 tips on how to handle stress and what we do usually in stressful times, and a lot of us resort to eating and then we feel really bad about it. So today I'm going to give you 2 little tips to kind of help you get around stress and really start to identify with some different ways that you can handle the trigger of stress. So welcome, my name is Diane, and here in this community we do talk about intermittent fasting and how to create your most authentic life around intermittent fasting and developing a keto-like lifestyle. So this is a super stressful time of the year, especially leading up into this next week. We start to realize that we have very limited days left to get all the things done that we need to get done. We're probably over inundated with invitations to social events. I know for us, our son's coming back into town from college, our daughter's finishing up with her finals this week. We are stressed to the max, and we have a to-do list that is super long. So how do I handle stressful times and that sort of tendency that we have, especially as women, to become really unconscious in our state of stress and start to use eating as a way to numbify the things that we are trying to kind of like manage, but not really manage very well. So the 2 tips I have are: 1, first, you need to identify that you have that trigger. Identify that you have that problem or that tendency to turn to mindless eating and or mindless even drinking around stressful times. I know I have been very guilty of that myself. I've talked very openly here about how, during stressful times around dinner time with our family, when you've got homework, and Michael used to be working around that time and everything felt like it was, kind of falling down on me, I could very easily, socially open up a bottle of Chardonnay, have a glass of wine while I was prepping dinner and managing homework, have a glass of wine while dinner was cooking, have a glass of wine with dinner, have a glass of wine when you're cleaning up the kitchen, and lo and behold, you have just consumed a bottle of wine unconsciously. Same type of thing happens around the holiday season. We're stressed out and we think that food and alcohol are the things that calm our nerves. And I can tell you from what I just shared with you, my own personal experience, is that we really need to fine tune that trigger, identify when that's happening to us, and then we need to identify ourselves as something else. So the second tip is identifying yourself as someone who is not a stress eater. We do this a lot in our midlife mindset shift course, where we have I am statements and we identify the person that we want to be. So the second step, and really avoiding this time of year where we just accidentally become stressful and eat or drink, is saying to yourself or identifying yourself as something else. So I no longer identify myself as a stress eater or a casual stress wine drinker. I identify myself as someone who manages stress. I identify myself with someone who is calm during stressful times. I identify myself as someone who manages my stress. So if you resort to saying to yourself, it is stressful and I am a stress eater, think about how you can rephrase that statement, and you want to physically write out an I am statement. So in the midst of that, when you have that I am statement and you've re-identified yourself, your brain has now been conditioned to talk to you in a different dialogue. So I am a stress manager. I no longer resort to food to handle stressful situations. I have game plans. I stay in control and I stay conscious in a state of stress, so that food is not the things as my escapism. So the first thing that you want to do is identify that you are that type of person, and then you want to reclassify yourself with a very simple statement that you can either say out in your head, or I always recommend writing it out and then practice saying it to yourself. I am whatever it is you want to be in that situation. So don't use the holidays, don't use added social responsibilities and time commitments. Don't use the fact that maybe you didn't plan your time wisely and you're crunching down on things in this last week as an excuse to layer on additional things in your life that you're going to have to manage once the holidays are over. Because guess what? Whether you get the Christmas cards out or not doesn't really matter. Christmas is coming. Whether you get all the shopping done or not that you planned on, guess what? Christmas is still coming, or the holiday events, or the social obligations that you have. They're still going to happen whether you get things done or not. The other thing and little bonus tip I highly recommend is being present over delivering presents. Make sure that if your time is running out and your list is still really long, are there ways that you can just show up in a very present state with the people that you're going to be spending time with? And in the big picture and in the long run, do people really care whether you came with a gift in hand, or would they rather that you show up with your true, most present, happy, authentic self? And I know for me, I would rather have any one of my friends show up with their most authentic self, being true and happy and present, than coming with a perfectly wrapped gift. So let go a lot of the perfectionisms as well. Just let yourself ease into this season. Enjoy what this season is. Enjoy the people that you have the opportunity and the privilege to spend time with. Time is one of those things that is so precious and just, goes so fast these days. Our son is already in his second year of college. We can't even believe that. He was just a tiny little thing that we were like trying to play Santa Claus for. And now he's a grown man, and it seemed like it happened this fast. The same thing with our daughter, Gabby. She's 13. She was just a tiny little baby, all excited about Christmas, and being present in those moments and enjoying them for what they are today. You being happy, you being not stressed out, you not being preoccupied about the fact that you are doing things that maybe you're not proud of, maybe doing things that you wish you wouldn't have done, takes you out of living in the present. So make sure that you're keeping yourself there. If you identify with what I'm talking about today and you're already feeling that stress, please leave a comment in the comment section. I am going to go through and answer your comments and give you some encouragement to get through the holiday season. Remember, 2 simple tips. 1, identify that you might be that person that turns to food or alcohol during stressful times. Know what those triggers are for you. And then 2, make sure that you take the time to create an I am statement and identify yourself as someone other than the kind of person who turns to food or drink during stressful situations, but that you are a person who has a plan in place and some boundaries set up so that you can resort to other things instead of food or alcohol during stressful times. So I'm gonna go ahead and open up the floor to questions and comments. Please make sure during this season that you are taking a deep breath, that you are taking care of yourself, that you're not overexhausting yourself, and allowing things that you might regret the week after the holidays, and maybe have some extra things on your plate that you have to make up for because you didn't stay conscious during these stressful times. You want to make sure that you're conscious so again you can be happy and present with the ones that you love. So Susie is here. She's a 2019 June grad. She's decided to be mindful when eating. If I want a chip, I'll go for it, but I eat one and think about it. Guess what? I usually have 2 or 3 versus my usual whole bag. Yes, for sure. And that's a great way to manage things here as well. We talk about this a lot in our Intermittent Fasting for Today's Aging Woman course, and that your life's no fun if you're not having the occasional fun things. And yes, around the holidays, there's a lot of occasional fun things, and you don't want to have to say no to everything, but you really do want to make sure that you're not leading into those type of situations overstressed and unconscious. You want to make sure, like Susie, that you have a plan in place and that you execute it so that you can still enjoy the fun times that come with seasonal things, but that you're not going to exit out of the season feeling really bad about where you put your body and your health once the holiday is over. So Susie, that's an excellent plan. Thank you so much for sharing. Purely Southern Mama, Jennifer, September 2019 grad. Love your videos so much. Sorry I'm late. I'll go back and watch this again. I binge watch you every day anyway. Oh, thanks so much, and Merry Christmas to you as well. Literally, just 2 tips is all we need to talk about today, and then make sure that you identify those 2 things we talked about today, and then create a plan for you today, right? Do you find that you are one of those people who stress eats or drinks during this time of season, or when you're feeling like your life is out of control? You have to really make sure that you own that part first, right? And then you have to do the second part, which is not accept that, but identify yourself as someone that you would rather be. So if you don't like the fact that you utilize food and alcohol during stressful times, then figure out what you can put in that place. I often say I'm a stress walker, or I'm a stress thinker, or I'm a stress go clean the kitchen kind of person. I get up and busy myself during stressful times so that I don't unconsciously gravitate to what I used to do. Now I have a new thing in place that I do, or a way that I think when that trigger sets off. So identify it, find the trigger, and then have a new strategy to get through it for sure. And then Sarah, I've started intermittent fasting. What do I eat after ending the fasting? Oh, Sarah, we teach all of that in our class for sure. There's a series of ways that you can kind of go through your fasting and your feasting to identify which foods break your fast the best. So if you haven't already done so, make sure you get registered for our January 4th class, and we go through all of that fasting and feasting for you for sure. Amy, welcome. It's good to have you here. Jennifer is here. Doug looks like he popped on. Always good to have you, my friend. Diana, I find tiredness the hardest, but stressed second. Yeah, tired too. So make sure that you give yourself a gift of a nap. I don't know when naps became such a negative thing, but you know, don't be afraid to just take a 20-minute little cat nap or refresh yourself. Oftentimes during this time too, because we are out of our usual routines, we can very easily get dehydrated. I know Michael and I have been really conscious about our water consumption this time of year. It's super dry here in Texas first and foremost. It is also freezing to us, so we are inside a lot with the heater on. All of those can be very dehydrating, so make sure that you're getting plenty of water in as well. That can also give you a nice little boost of energy when you're feeling a little bit fatigued and a little over tired and run down. Gail, 2018 grad. Girlfriend, it's always good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Jacqueline, what can help eliminate sugar like soda juice? What can help eliminate sugar like soda juice? You mean sugar cravings, or finding something like a sugar juice as a replacement? So if it's sugar cravings, the best way to eliminate sugar cravings is through a nice clean fast, and then really monitoring and staying conscious in what you're doing in your feasting window. Sugar is an addiction, so just like any other habit or addiction you're trying to break, you have to get over the hump of the detox of it, and then you can start sliding into living a life where you're not so sugar addicted or dependent. And if it's a replacement, I always say if you're trying to reduce sugar intake, or you're trying to improve what you're doing in your hydration system, the best thing to incorporate is always water. So I would just add in some more water for sure on that one. Let's see if we have anybody else here. Gail, coming back, awesome. Anna, 2018 grad, good to have you with us. I'm learning at age 58 to take care of me, and then I can enjoy others and be present with them. Girlfriend, that is my golden rule for sure. That's why I always say here, you know, it's really important for us women to put first and foremost making conscious decisions that do allow us to look and feel our best and live our most authentic life. Because if we show up looking and feeling our best about us and making decisions that are true to us, that's the authentic part, then you can show up and be that for someone else. And oftentimes as we get busy, especially during this time of year, we have our full plate already, and then our full plate runneth over with all of the other things that we have to do, and then we do start neglecting ourselves. So it's okay to take some time and be selfish and take care of yourself. Make sure you're getting your walks in or your workouts in, and really being mindful of how you feel, because if you're run down, then trust me, everyone else around you is gonna feel that effect as well. So take care of you first, for sure. So Anna, it's good that you're identifying with that. And then Cheryl, I didn't eat anything after lunch. I don't eat anything after lunchtime. I guess that means that's when you start your fast. So congratulations for doing that for sure. So this video is really just meant to give you that opportunity to just think about some of the habits that you have when you're stressed out. And do you always seem to end a stressful situation feeling a certain way about decisions that you made? Remember, food does not alleviate stress. Food does not solve problems. Food is not our source of entertainment. It's not the thing that's supposed to make a bad day better. Food is the thing that we're supposed to utilize to nourish our bodies. If you're feeling stressed out and you're feeling like you have no time and you're feeling like you have a million things on your to-do list, the best thing that you can do is fast. Do nothing during the majority of your day and truly benefit from that energized sense of calm that we have all experienced here when we're fasting long and feasting well. You deserve more than to numb yourself with food and or overindulging in alcoholic beverages during this time of a year, because when you come out of this season, I want you to pop your head out and be happy and healthy and energized and feeling really positive about the decisions that you made for yourself. So thanks so much for jumping in with us. Remember, our January 4th, 2020, our first 2020 class, first class of the new year, first class of the new decade, will be starting on the 4th. I would love to have you with us if you haven't been in a course with us yet. And then we're also launching our midlife mindset shift course as well. We talk a lot about these mind shift ideas in that course as well. So if you're a graduate, we would love to have you join with us on the 4th as well. Please make sure you email me if you'd like information about that. And then with that, I think we're gonna try to go live on Friday. We don't know what our schedule is yet. Like I said, Logan's coming back from college. Gabby's gonna be done with her finals, and we're kind of unsure about what our schedule is like. And then I know for sure next week we are taking the entire week off to enjoy time with our family, and I pray that you have the opportunity to do that as well. So however you will be celebrating the holidays next week, I hope and pray, and Michael and the rest of our family does as well, that you find some love and some peace and some calm and time with the people that you value the most during this next week. And then we will see you the week after that for some more live conversation about intermittent fasting and creating a keto-like lifestyle. Appreciate you guys. I'll see you on Friday.